Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to Whitman-HANSON Regional High School's National Honor Society Induction Ceremony. First, I'd like to recognize, thank for their support, and welcome the Whitman-HANSON Regional High School faculty, parents, friends, and distinguished guests. Tonight we honor these students for their dedication and hard work. However, it would be a disservice to not pause for a moment to thank all of the individuals who have helped these students get here. Everyone on this stage tonight has that special person that has been instrumental in their journey to this point. So whoever you are, whoever you may be to that student, from all of us at Whitman-HANSON Regional High School, thank you for your never-ending support and sacrifices made so that these students may continue to achieve their greatest potential and exhibit all the qualities of outstanding citizens who are prepared to make a positive impact on the world. You all must be incredibly proud of them this evening. Standing here on this stage tonight, looking at these students, I'm reminded of the quote by Calvin Coolidge. No person was ever honored for what he received. Honor has been the reward for what he gave. The individuals on this stage tonight have made choices, sacrifices, and tirelessly given in the areas of scholarship, service, leadership, and character. They have been faced with choices to either put the work in or go hang out, to ask questions or remain silent, to get up after failure and learn, or to quit in the face of hardship. Tonight, it is clear that they have given of themselves, and for that, they will be rewarded. Tonight, these students will be honored. At this major moment, a milestone in their life, I respectfully ask that you continue to honor their achievement by taking a moment now to silence all of your electronic devices and be present as these students engage in a ceremony during which they are not only recognized for what they have done, but also for what they promise to continue. Thank you all, and enjoy the evening. Please welcome to the microphone, Ms. Chloe Wilson.
Please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd like to introduce Allison Gallahue, Alex Shea, and Jenna Mara, who are going to speak about our honorary inductees.
When I think about walking into Ms. Medeiros' class freshman year, it is difficult for me to express the overwhelming joy and calmness that came over me. It is nearly impossible to feel anything other than safe and comfortable within the walls of her classroom due to the bonds that she establishes with her students. Her understanding and compassionate personality allows for her students to be at ease. For example, in class, no matter what a student gives for an answer, she never says that it's wrong. She allows for different interpretations. She would say that she hadn't thought about it that way. This lets students understand that they are welcome to see things their own way and that they are encouraged to be creative and different. Her never-ending support for me and her help with school projects has inspired me to find my passion for English and has sparked my desire to become an English teacher. This has relieved stress about not knowing what to do in the future, and I'm sure that she has had the same effect on other people as well. So thank you, Ms. Medeiros, for everything you do for Whitman-HANSON and its students. The school wouldn't be the same without you, and I cannot wait to have you again next semester.
A great teacher is not only defined about what they do in the classroom, but also how they affect the lives of students in the hallways, at school events, and through clubs. The co-founder of Google, Larry Page, once said, "Always do more than expected." Ms. Medeiros must read this quote over 100 times. Not only is she a wonderful advisor and SAD in the calligraphy club, she also makes an effort to attend almost every after-school event. You often find her cheering on sports like football and basketball, or laughing along to jokes at McEwan, even if they're not funny. She attends the shows and plays put on by the theater department and countless other things that I didn't mention. This is not a requirement of being a teacher, but she does it anyways because that's the type of person she is. She truly cares about her students, which is why she got the vote for this honor. Congratulations, Ms. Medeiros.
First off, congratulations to Ms. Medeiros for being inducted. I could not think of anyone more fitting for the honor. Secondly, I would like to share a few words about her and the positive impact she has on her students each day. From the very first day of freshman year, I saw Ms. Medeiros as the light of the English hallway. Her room is like another home for students. You always know you will receive the warmest greeting from her, and Ms. Medeiros always does her best to make each student feel comfortable in her classroom. In addition, she does her best to give each student their own time in order to ensure success for all her students. She has hope in all her students and believes that they can reach their highest potential. Ms. Medeiros has a passion for what she does. She further loves discussing classic literature after school, editing her former students' papers in her free time, or catching up and just having a visit just because she cares to know how her students are doing or what they did over the weekend. Most importantly, Ms. Medeiros has the ability to instill passion in her students. As a freshman in high school, I willingly wrote an extra 4 pages of a research paper because I was genuinely interested in the topic. She eagerly took on the task of helping me find more resources, and instead of complaining about grading the extra few pages, she told me she was beyond excited to hear about my paper and was proud of how far my writing had come since the beginning of the year. She boosted not only my confidence in writing, but in general, knowing I am able to take something I enjoy doing and putting it to good use in this world. I must say that the Whitman-HANSON community is lucky to have someone so patient and devoted to their job. She is a true role model for many students and her peers, and we are privileged to induct her into the National Honor Society tonight.
Thank you. I was not expecting 3 of my former students to talk about me, so that was a nice surprise. Words cannot express how thrilled and grateful I am to join the newest members of the Whitman-HANSON chapter of the National Honor Society in this induction ceremony. Not only am I among outstanding company with our school's most accomplished students, but I join your families, teachers, and Principal Dr. Jones in wishing you a heartfelt congratulations. You should be so proud of yourselves for receiving this high honor, and I could not be more excited for you. It truly means the world to me to share this experience with you, thanks to your nomination. I have been fortunate to witness firsthand your personal and educational transformations as many of your high school journeys began in my classroom. In addition to having many of you in class in your freshman year, I have worked closely alongside many of you in SAD, Students Against Destructive Decisions, and spent a week traveling abroad with some of you last spring as we braved a downpour to kiss the Blarney Stone and survived our unforgettable stay at the Atrium Hotel in London. Needless to say, this induction class will forever hold a special place within my heart. It's truly remarkable to see how you have grown over the last 3 and 4 years. While you may not want to think back to the Greek god and goddess presentations or the Shakespeare recitations Mr. Dempsey and I made you perform by yourselves as freshmen in front of the entire class, these moments shaped you into the confident and accomplished young men and women I see before me tonight. I was a teenager once myself, and I remember being so concerned with my reputation, what I looked like, what my classmates thought of me, and how difficult that was. It was not until I reached college that I grew to truly become comfortable with myself. I used to be embarrassed to share how I was drum major of my high school marching band, or how I geek out with books and become too attached to fictional characters, but these traits shape me who I am today. Don't wait to start celebrating who you are as you are right now. My advice to you as a former high school student and former teenager is to not be afraid to show off your true passions, especially the ones that are quirky or nerdy, because they make you who you are. Personally, I feel so lucky to be able to share my love for literature and writing with you as my job each day. If there's anything I want you to take away from my class, it's to never be satisfied with a first draft. Some of you may recall receiving papers back from me that were covered with comments and feedback, but it was to help you grow and develop your already amazing ideas. It's important to keep in mind, too, that in addition to revising your writing, you also have the power to rewrite your personal story, regardless of how finished you think you are. Life as you know it now will change, and the next several years present a greater opportunity to learn and evolve both as students and as people, just as your writing has evolved with time. I hope the 4 pillars celebrated tonight carry you forward beyond the walls of Whitman-HANSON. While it's easy to focus on the cords you'll wear at graduation that distinguish you, I invite you to practice these ideals throughout your lives, wherever they may take you. Continue practicing scholarship by reading for pleasure. Study an area that sparks your interest and that you're truly passionate about. Give back to others in your community by donating time to causes that matter to you and help people in need. Lead by example and stay true to your own morals and beliefs, despite what others may think of you. Most importantly, I want you to always be mindful of your character. As some of you know from SAD, Ms. Martin and I are constantly encouraging you to make positive decisions and to remember that your choices directly impact your friends and family. Those of you that had me in class know that I am a football fan. I have Patriot posters displayed on almost every wall of my classroom. While I would have liked to include a comment from Bill Belichick regarding character, he's not exactly the most talkative in his press conferences. So, I look to a different sport for inspiration. Legendary basketball coach John Wooden once said that the true test of character is what someone does when no one is watching. So be a role model, not just for others, but by holding yourself to honest and high standards. Own the mistakes you make, because we all make them, and be truthful in all parts of your life. Be kind and do the right thing, not because it'll benefit you or because it'll make you look good, but because it's the right thing to do. Lastly, in alignment with the pillar of character, my advice for you is to remain humble despite your outstanding accomplishments. Because as Nick Carraway's father advised him in The Great Gatsby, just remember, all the people in this world haven't had the advantages that you've had. You are so fortunate to have such supportive parents and dedicated teachers who helped you get to this moment. Be grateful and enjoy it. I'm confident you will continue the tradition of excellence that has been set before you. Congratulations, everybody.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Chloe Wilson. I am the president of Whitman-HANSON's National Honor Society, and I would like to offer you all another warm welcome to tonight's ceremony. The inductees sitting here on the stage were chosen for this honor because of their distinguished dedication to the 4 pillars of scholarship, leadership, service, and character. These students are in many ways the glue that holds our community together. They are the ones who raise their hands when no one else is willing to answer, the ones who jump at opportunities to volunteer at local events, and the ones who are always more than willing to help their peers in or out of the classroom. They are the ones who go the extra mile to uphold the values of the National Honor Society, even, as Ms. Medeiros said, when nobody's watching. This ceremony is a recognition of the positive impacts that inductees have made so far, as well as a celebration of the future impacts that we know they will continue to make as National Honor Society members. It also serves as an appreciation of the parents, teachers, loved ones in the audience who have continually supported these students. With the lighting of each candle, we instill in these inductees our hope that scholarship, leadership, service, and character will guide their everyday actions. We will now proceed with the candle lighting. I encourage you to listen closely to the explanations of each pillar, as these are the words we hope you will live by as National Honor Society members. Thank you.
Monica Fleck, and I am the Secretary of the National Honor Society. Within the National Honor Society, leadership stands as one of our 4 key pillars, as it is one of the important qualities we as members must uphold. As American author John Maxwell once said, leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. Leaders are not necessarily the ones who hold the highest positions or titles, or the ones who are most widely known, but they are the ones who do the little things that motivate the people around them. As a part of Whitman-Hanson's National Honor Society, we as students lead with respect and the desire to help our fellow classmates and community members. Whether it be in the library after school tutoring our peers, in the hallways giving tours to incoming students, or within the towns of Whitman and Hanson raising money for our local food pantries, we are constantly needing to empower those around us to reach their full potential, while also reaching out a helping hand to those in need. The hardworking students being inducted today have not only demonstrated leadership in all aspects of their lives, but they are the epitome of how one should lead. They are all leaders within their classrooms, the school, and their community. I am honored to get to stand as part of the National Honor Society and to welcome these new members as they continue to lead not because of their title, but because of their desire to help others. Congratulations to the newest members of the National Honor Society. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Samantha Thompson, and I am the fundraising chair of National Honor Society. In the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, scholarship is to be created not by compulsion, but by awakening a pure interest in knowledge. Tonight, I have the pleasure of watching nearly 100 new members of the National Honor Society be inducted into Whitman-Hanson's chapter. One of the core elements of the National Honor Society is the concept of scholarship. Scholarship represents the academic achievements that each of us have obtained throughout their high school careers. The hard work, dedication, and grit that all of our new members have exhibited contribute to the concept of scholarship and furthermore strengthen their candidacy for the National Honor Society. A passion for knowledge can be seen in all of our members, thus reflecting the element of scholarship that is so deeply important to the society. As Emerson said, scholarship and academic interest are sparked when one becomes interested in learning. Despite our differences, the unifying factor that can be seen in all of us is our never-ending love, desire, and eagerness to soak up as much knowledge as possible. Congratulations to all of our new members. I'm excited to see what the future will bring to the National Honor Society with the addition of so many bright minds. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Sadie Peru, and I'm the social media chair of the National Honor Society. Imagine yourself walking down the street and witnessing a stranger drop a $20 bill from their pocket. What would you do? Pick it up and keep it? Chase down the stranger to return it? Or simply continue on your way? No matter what the decision that is made is, there's one certainty. Your character is being defined. As John Wooden, a famous basketball player and coach once said, and Miss Medeiros, a true person's character is revealed by what they do when no one is watching. Character is one of the main pillars of the National Honor Society because it develops with you as you grow older. Until now, your character has allowed you to make choices for yourself. Whether accepting advice given by others or creating your own path by following your instincts, your choices define who you are and reveal what kind of character you have. For the many sitting on stage tonight, their decisions to this point have earned them many accolades, but it is their character that has earned them the honor to be inducted tonight.
Hi everyone, my name is Courtney Woodward, and I am the Vice President for National Honor Society. In the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., everyone can be great because everyone can serve. Or when Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. I recently thought about what these influential leaders meant by these words, and found that they both revolve around the same idea, service to others. Then I began to wonder what service to others truly meant and how I personally would define it. I realized these 3 words can mean so many things, and the definition is not that easy to come across, as it can change for each person. I found it can mean giving our time at a local food pantry to make Thanksgiving baskets, or volunteering to rake and shovel for someone unable to complete this task, to simply giving extra help to the student in your algebra class that doesn't quite understand the concept yet. So when all these things were put together, I found service to others is simply defined as having the courage and ability to realize and act when someone is in need. Tonight, we're able to recognize the impact that the new National Honor Society students have been able to make on their own community, as each inductee has demonstrated service to others in their own lives and throughout our community. Through their service, they have made it evident that they value serving those around them and will continue to demonstrate these attributes in all they do. These students are a positive influence in all aspects of the Whitman-HANSON school community and are dedicated to helping those in need, as this is one of the 4 pillars of the National Honor Society. Tonight, we recognize the commitment all new members have made to be the change they wish to see in the world, and how they will continue to be great since they are able to serve, as Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. have said. Congratulations to all new members.
We will now begin introducing new members. Nathaniel Amato. A teacher who has made a difference in Nate's life is Mr. Lopes. Mr. Lopes inspired Nate to give his all to every activity that he did, no matter how interested he was in it. Not only did Mr. Lopes teach Nate about how to be successful in school, but he also taught Nate life lessons that will always matter. Nate hopes to pursue statistics in the future. Matthew Avery. A teacher who has made a difference in Matt's life is Mr. Fondulis. Mr. Fondulis sparked Matt's interest in pursuing a career in computer science. Matt hopes to have a future in bioinformatics or computer science. Emma Bagg. A teacher who has made a difference in Emma's life is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith is a teacher that made an impact on Emma's life because she has always believed in Emma and has motivated her to try her best. Mrs. Smith is real with her students and treats them with respect and as a friend. Mrs. Smith has helped Emma express her love for science. Emma hopes to pursue a career as a certified registered nurse anesthetist in the future. Julia Bendy. A teacher who has made a difference in Julia's life is Miss Galambos. Julia was inspired by Miss Galambos because she shared her joy and inspiration and inspired her to run for class treasurer, which has greatly impacted Julia's life. Julia hopes to pursue business law in the future. Alexis Billings. A teacher who has made a difference in Alexis's life is Miss Patterson. Miss Patterson has inspired Alexis because she taught her that it is okay to fail and you can only get better at things you work hard on. Alexis hopes to pursue sports medicine in the future. Christopher Blackman. A teacher who has made a difference in Christopher's life is Mr. Humphrey. Mr. Humphrey has made a difference in Christopher's life by providing him with a platform for helping others with their work, both in class and after school, which inspired Chris to be more helpful toward his classmates. In the future, Chris hopes to pursue a career in math or science that he knows will affect the lives of others. Tyler Goddard. A teacher who has inspired Tyler is Mrs. Risco. Mrs. Risco has helped Tyler to become a better writer by giving him tips and tricks to make his essays more complex and sophisticated. She has inspired Tyler to work hard and to learn to love reading. Tyler would like to pursue a career in musical theater in the future. Peyton Brugela. A teacher who has made a difference in Peyton's life is Mrs. Malone. Mrs. Malone helped Peyton to understand that she cannot always be perfect and that it is okay to make mistakes. In her class, Peyton learns to work through difficult challenge and persevere. Peyton hopes to pursue finance in the future. Julie Buckley. A teacher who has made a difference in Julie's life is Miss Galambos. Miss Galambos has inspired Julie because she always has a positive attitude. Every day, Miss Galambos encourages Julie to share her opinion and speak out more. She also motivates Julie to work harder. Miss Galambos is a true role model, and Julie aspires to be like her when she grows up. Julie hopes to pursue art in the future. Olivia Chase. A teacher who has made a difference in Olivia's life is Mr. Main. Mr. Main always guided Olivia and encouraged her to step outside of her comfort zone. He's the one who inspired her to reach for the stars and keep her head up. Olivia is beyond thankful for his unconditional support. Olivia hopes to pursue forensic science in the future. Abigail Cleary. A teacher who has made a difference in Abigail's life is Mr. Moriarty. Mr. Moriarty inspired Abigail because he taught physics in a fun and interesting way that made her enjoy the course even more than she already did. Abigail hopes to pursue physics in the future. Peyton Collins. A teacher who has made a difference in Peyton's life is Mr. Merritt. Mr. Merritt has inspired Peyton to give his all in any passion he has. One lesson Mr. Merritt taught Peyton is no matter any obstacle in front of you, attack it head on and tell yourself, I've got this. Peyton hopes to pursue a career in the medical field as a doctor in the future. Emily Concannon. A teacher who has made a difference in Emily's life is Senora Mavilia. Senora Mavilia has inspired Emily to love learning foreign languages. She has taught Emily the value of being able to communicate with the world in new ways and chase her dreams of traveling. Emily hopes to pursue graphic design in the future. Alexis Connolly. A teacher who has made a difference in Lexi's life is Miss Galambos. Lexi is inspired by Miss Galambos because she adores the positive, loud, outgoing personality Miss Galambos portrays at all times. She inspired Lexi to always be kind and taught her that simply making someone smile is very important. Lexi hopes to pursue business management in college. Eve Cox. A teacher who has made a difference in Eve's life is Mrs. Dempsey. Mrs. Dempsey has impacted Eve's life by inspiring her to work hard and to always be kind. Eve hopes to pursue a career in Homeland Security in the future. Emma Daly. A teacher who has made a difference in Emma's life is Miss Medeiros. Miss Medeiros inspired Emma to always have a positive attitude and keep a smile on her face. She taught Emma to continue being passionate and inclusive to others. Emma hopes to pursue a career in law in the future. Adam Danicki. A teacher who has made a difference in Adam's life is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith was able to widen Adam's knowledge in biology. She was able to prepare Adam for any hardships that he would encounter in the subject, and she helped Adam whenever he needed it. She was an overall amazing teacher whose passion for biology reflected onto Adam. Adam hopes to pursue a career as a doctor or surgeon in the future. Taylor Dirk. A teacher who has made a difference in Taylor's life is Mrs. Edkin. Mrs. Edkin taught Taylor to never give up on any challenges that she faced and showed her that not everything comes easy. Taylor hopes to pursue a career as a nurse in the future. Abigail Delory. A teacher who has made a difference in Abigail's life is Mr. Rosen. Mr. Rosen inspired Abby because he is passionate not only about chemistry, but about his job working with kids. His energy is contagious, and his exciting science demonstrations and movie references made every moment spent in his class exciting. He inspired Abby's passion for science and gave her a future to look forward to. Abby hopes to pursue a career in engineering. Michael Doucette. A teacher who has made a difference in Michael's life is Mr. Dondero. Mr. Dondero is always there to give advice, celebrate, and make sure his students are comfortable. He has done this for the 7 years Michael has had him, and he will continue to do so for a long time after Michael graduates. Michael hopes to pursue wildlife biology in the future. Callie Eddy. A teacher who has inspired Callie is Miss I.M. Pietro. Miss I.M. Pietro has made an impact on Callie's perspective on life. She has taught Callie how to look at life from multiple perspectives and understand it in different ways. Miss I.M. Pietro also helped Callie find her voice through writing and has helped spark her creativity. Callie hopes to pursue speech pathology and education in the future.
Haley Ferguson. A teacher who has inspired Haley is Mrs. Negrich. Mrs. Negrich was always kind to her students and inspired Haley to do the same and give everything 110%. Haley would like to pursue a career in chemistry and acting in the future. Rachel Finch. A teacher who has inspired Rachel is Mrs. Patterson. Mrs. Patterson has not only inspired Rachel in chemistry and science, but in life as well. She pushes Rachel to do her best and makes her strive for success, along with being an inspiration to pursue a potential career in science. Rachel would like to pursue a career in science and neurology in the future. Allison Gallahue. A teacher who has inspired Allison is Ms. Medeiros. Ms. Medeiros impacted Allison's life immensely as an impressionable freshman. She helped Allison realize her passion for English, and she guided Allison to her creative outlet. Ms. Medeiros never gives up on her students and always clears up anything that is confusing or nerve-wracking in life. Allison would like to pursue a career as an English poet, post-secondary teacher in the future. Gabrielle Gillen. A teacher who has inspired Gabrielle is Miss Estes. Miss Estes has inspired Gabrielle by always being so full of joy and love while also being serious when the time calls for it. She truly went above and beyond to ensure that her students were always learning and having fun, inspiring Gabrielle to always put her best foot forward and to stay optimistic through the good and the bad. Gabrielle would like to pursue a career in teaching and serving people in need in the future. Lily Glover. A teacher who has inspired Lily is Senora Mavilia. Senora Mavilia was Lily's first Spanish teacher. She inspired a love of the Spanish language that has followed Lily into high school. Lily would like to pursue a career in teaching in the future. Victoria Bortolato. A teacher who has made a difference in Victoria's life is Mrs. Shaw. Mrs. Shaw made Victoria realize what she was capable of, even when she couldn't see it. She encouraged and pushed Victoria. This made Victoria want to do the best she could. Victoria is thankful for Mrs. Shaw. Victoria hopes to pursue a career as a physician or neuroprosthetic designer for amputees in the future. Owen Golden. A teacher who has inspired Owen is Miss Medeiros. Miss Medeiros has impacted Owen's ability to write essays and helped him by showing him his strengths within his writing. Miss Medeiros has pushed Owen by getting him to take honors and AP English classes. Owen would like to pursue a career in civil engineering in the future. Aya Habub. A teacher who has inspired Aya is Miss Medeiros. Miss Medeiros is an amazing teacher and has inspired Aya to become more involved within the community. Aya had Miss Medeiros her freshman year as an English teacher, and Miss Medeiros urged her students to join SAD. Ever since Aya joined the club, she has been more involved within the school and the activities and the wellness of the community. Aya would like to pursue a career in criminology to become a Massachusetts state trooper in the future. Christian Hall. A teacher who has inspired Christian is Mr. Moriarty. Mr. Moriarty has made a difference in Christian's life because of how passionate and dedicated he is to his job. The energy and exuberance he brings to his teaching keeps his students engaged and excited to learn. Mr. Moriarty has truly made an impact on Christian's career path and future. Christian would like to pursue a career in business and engineering management in the future. Riley Harlow. A teacher who has inspired Riley is Mrs. Negrich. Mrs. Negrich was always so kind and inspired Riley to work hard and be kind to everyone. Riley would like to pursue a career in nursing in the future. Bridget Hickey. A teacher who has inspired Bridget is Mrs. Zuzovich. Mrs. Zuzovich has provided Bridget with many great memories, such as reading to the class. Bridget cherishes the fact that Mrs. Zuzovich made her eager to go to school. Bridget would like to pursue a career in political science in the future. Samantha Higgins. A teacher who has inspired Samantha is Miss Medeiros. Miss Medeiros' compassion and kind words have inspired Samantha to be a better student and to always do her best work. Samantha would like to pursue a career in animation in the future. Jacob Hill. A teacher who has inspired Jacob is Mrs. Smith. In middle school, Jacob was losing interest in the science field. When he got to Whitman-HANSON his freshman year, Miss Honors Biology class reignited his love for the subject. Jacob would like to pursue a career in computer science in the future. Samantha Hurley. A teacher who has inspired Samantha is Mrs. Dempsey. Mrs. Dempsey has inspired Samantha by causing Samantha to look below the surface of her peers and the people around her. Mrs. Dempsey has taught Samantha not only academic lessons, but life lessons and the way you should show support for the ones around you. Samantha would like to pursue a career in nursing in the future. Alyssa Invernizzi. A teacher who has inspired Alyssa is Miss Reagan. Miss Reagan has been an inspiring and encouraging teacher throughout Alyssa's high school career. By having her 2 years in a row, Alyssa made a connection with her that she will never forget. Alyssa always looked forward to Spanish class every day with Miss Reagan. Alyssa would like to pursue a career in secondary education and sociology in the future. Alyssa Kelp. A teacher who has inspired Alyssa is Mrs. Smith. Miss Smith was very helpful and supportive throughout Alyssa's freshman year as she began a new school district. Throughout the past 3 years, Miss Smith's passion for teaching, positivity, and kindness towards everyone has been inspirational and important in Alyssa's life. Alyssa would like to pursue a career in biomedical engineering in the future. Theophilus Camperides. A teacher who has inspired Theo is Mr. Humphrey. Mr. Humphrey was a great teacher who always made sure Theo understood the algebra lessons while making the class fun and interesting. Theo would like to pursue a career in nursing in the future. Michael King. A teacher who has inspired Mike is Mr. Merrick. Mr. Merrick pushed Mike out of his comfort zone, showed him what it meant to put in work and to be himself. Despite his previous dislike for history, Michael has never had a better class. Michael would like to pursue a career as a sports journalist or writer in the future. Divya Kumar. A teacher who has inspired Divya is Miss Lee. Miss Lee has inspired Divya to pursue science by setting a strong foundation and sparking her interest in the STEM field early on. Divya would like to pursue a career in the STEM medical field in the future. Ethan Lenahan. A teacher who has inspired Ethan is Mr. Kozak. Mr. Kozak was a fantastic physics teacher for Ethan, proving that being intelligent does not necessarily mean losing your sense of humor. He inspired Ethan to work hard through arguably his most difficult year, and his work ethic has been crucial to Ethan's success ever since. Ethan would like to pursue a career in pre-medicine in the future. Cameron Lindsay. A teacher who has inspired Cameron is Miss Medeiros. Miss Medeiros helped Cameron gain an interest in English, leading him to take AP language and to become a better student overall. She helped Cameron have a great freshman year and made him feel extremely welcome in the class. Cameron would like to pursue a career in business in the future.
Timothy Long. A teacher who's inspired Tim is Mrs. Dempsey. Mrs. Dempsey has inspired Tim to continue his study in Spanish and to develop a future career involving it. Additionally, her lessons in teaching always encouraged Tim to discover more about the language and the culture around him. Tim would like to pursue a career in pre-medicine in Spanish. Hallie Loring. A teacher who has made a difference in Hallie's life is Miss Finn. Miss Finn has inspired Hallie through her dedication to giving back to the community. She devotes a large part of her life to volunteering at homeless shelters as well as raising money and awareness for Habitat for Humanity. Her selflessness has shown Hallie the importance of helping those in need and helped her become passionate about making a difference in the community. Hallie would like to pursue a career in marine biology. Delaney McDonald. A teacher who has inspired Delaney is Mr. Dempsey. Mr. Dempsey helped Delaney not only become a better writer and English student, but a better person. He has taught her that her voice matters and has encouraged her to use her voice for the better. She looks up to him greatly as an individual and appreciates all he has done for her. Delaney would like to pursue a career as a lawyer. Aiden McKay. A teacher who has inspired Aiden is Mrs. McGann. Aiden was inspired by Mrs. McGann because of how she believed in him, and she also taught Aiden to believe in himself more. Through her teaching, Mrs. McGann pushed him to be the best he could be, both inside and outside of the classroom. Aiden would like to pursue a career in finance. Emma Markowski. A teacher who has inspired Emma is Mrs. Ahern. Mrs. Ahern has inspired Emma, and she has played a big role in making her the student she is today. Her class gave Emma a passion for learning when she was younger, one that she still holds on to today. Emma would like to pursue a career in liberal arts. Sarah McClymonth. A teacher who has inspired Sarah is Mrs. Diogenes. Mrs. Diogenes has helped Sarah believe in her writing, shown Sarah exciting ways to learn, and has inspired Sarah to take on a higher level class. Sarah would like to be an engineer in the future. Emily McDonald. A teacher who has inspired Emily is Senora Mabilia. Senora Mabilia taught Emily how to make learning fun and easy. She inspired Emily to continue to learn more about the Spanish language and culture, and taught Emily to never give up during hard times. Emily would like to pursue a career in medicine and become a physician's assistant. Zachary McKee. A teacher who has inspired Zach is Mr. Kozak. Mr. Kozak inspired Zach to never stop asking questions, even if they seem irrelevant. He also encouraged Zach to never stop wondering and to always strive to learn more. Zach would like to pursue a career in engineering. Brian Mead. A teacher who has inspired Brian is Mr. Merritt. Mr. Merritt inspired Brian by being a teacher that Brian enjoyed going to, and he fulfilled Brian's learning experience. Brian would like to pursue a career as an engineer. Monica Mendez. A teacher who has inspired Monica is Mr. Erickson. Mr. Erickson inspired Monica greatly during middle school as well as early high school. His easygoing personality, intelligence, and perseverance made learning easier. Monica was able to learn to love reading and writing and excel at it. This has been very useful in and out of school. His qualities stand out amongst others, and she aspires to be like him. Monica would like to become a physician's assistant. Adam Maluski. A teacher who has inspired Adam is Mr. Fondoulis. Mr. Fondoulis taught Adam that you have to persevere and work hard, no matter how challenging the task is, and to always keep learning. Adam would like to pursue a career in the field of medicine. Aiden Miller. A teacher who has inspired Aiden is Mrs. Patterson. Mrs. Patterson has made a difference in Aiden's life because of how helpful and dedicated to her job she is. She is always willing to help any student further their learning. Aiden would like to pursue a career in finance. Haley Mininucci. A teacher who has inspired Haley is Mr. Chismar. Mr. Chismar helped Haley discover a new passion for history during freshman year and inspired her to break out of her shell and dare to leave her comfort zone. Even though he can be very sarcastic, he is always ready to help, whether it be with history or with life. Haley would like to pursue a career in STEM. Lucas Midden. A teacher who has inspired Lucas is Ms. Galambos. Ms. Galambos has made a huge impact on Lucas's life and outlook, as well as inspired him to follow his dreams and stay positive. As a pessimist, it's often hard for Lucas to see things in a positive light, and Ms. Galambos' generous compassion for others has taught him and many others to do the same. Her attitude is something everybody can learn from. Lucas would like to pursue a career in art and drawing. Catherine Mulligan. A teacher who has inspired Katie is Mrs. Vance, because she is the most caring and encouraging teacher Katie has ever had. She helped Katie become more confident and outgoing. Katie would like to pursue a career in medicine. Jason Murphy. A teacher who has inspired Jason is Ms. Ashe. Ms. Ashe has inspired Jason by giving him motivation to keep giving his best effort in his schoolwork and teaching him life lessons that will help him continue to grow as a person and as a student. Jason would like to pursue a career in business. Savannah Murphy. A teacher who has inspired Savannah is Ms. Marr. Ms. Marr has inspired Savannah's life. Ms. Marr was the first teacher Savannah met at high school. She taught Savannah the importance of art and how it impacts her everyday life. With this, Savannah has used art as a way to de-stress from academics, as it has been her passion. Savannah would like to pursue a career in biochemistry. Avery Murray. A teacher who has inspired Avery is Ms. Medeiros. Ms. Medeiros has inspired Avery because she always taught that things can always be better and that having a positive attitude will get you much farther in life. She taught Avery how to become a better writer and had an impact on her for the rest of high school. Avery would like to pursue finance in the future. Madeline Nagel. A teacher who has inspired Madeline is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith inspired Madeline because she was always so kind, and she taught her to never give up and always put her best into everything. Madeline would like to do something involved in business in the future.
Margaret Newcomb. The teacher who has inspired Margaret is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith has inspired Margaret because she made her feel more than just a student. She feels Mrs. Smith connects with people on a deeper level because she cares about her students' well-being and gives them a lot more credit than most adults do. Margaret would like to pursue a career as a financial advisor. Abigail Newman. A teacher who has inspired Abigail is Miss Jensen. Miss Jensen has inspired Abigail through her unwavering passion for bettering the lives of people both in and out of the classroom. Abigail looks up to her dedication to assisting others, disregarding the personal cost, as well as her ability to offer the kind wisdom no matter the time of day. She is so thankful for Mrs. Jensen's guidance both in and out of the academic world and accredits many of her successes to Mrs. Jensen's support. Abigail would like to pursue a career in the nursing field. Brooke Nisby. A teacher who has inspired Brooke is Mr. Dunn. Mr. Dunn has made a difference in Brooke's life because he has a positive attitude and his continuous effort to make connections with his students. Brooke hopes to become a nurse. Lucy Nixon. A teacher who has inspired Lucy is Mr. Cedor. Mr. Cedor has made an impact in Lucy's life by not only challenging her in math, but making the class enjoyable and something to look forward to. His teaching influenced her to put in 110% and to always be kind. Lucy hopes to pursue a career as a veterinarian. Eve O'Brien. A teacher who has made an impact in Eve's life is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith, Eve's 8th grade English teacher, has made a great difference in her life and academic career. Mrs. Smith's kindness, compassion, humor, and work ethic for both Eve and others has inspired Eve to become more confident in herself and become a better person as a whole. Eve would like to pursue a career in international relations. Aidan O'Brien. A teacher who has inspired Aidan is Mr. Kozak. Mr. Kozak has helped inspire Aidan's love for physics and science. The in-depth conversations and the things he discusses are always interesting, and the fact that he wants people to be curious and ask questions has made his class a great place for Aiden to be. Aiden would like to pursue a career as an engineer. Nathaniel O'Brien. A teacher who has inspired Nathaniel is Mr. Chismar. Although only having him freshman year, Mr. Chismar inspired Nathaniel's love for history. When it came time for Nathaniel to choose between standard level history or a higher level, Mr. Chismar pushed Nathaniel to challenge himself, which led Nathaniel to discover something he is truly passionate about. Nathaniel's future plans are to become a lawyer. Emma Perkins. A teacher who has inspired Emma is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith has made a difference in Emma's life by always encouraging her to be herself and inspiring her to express her opinions. Mrs. Smith takes the time out of her day to make sure that all of her students are succeeding in school and life. Emma would like to be a civil rights attorney. Sophia Petrus. A teacher who has inspired Sophia is Senora Mavilia. Senora Mavilia was Sophia's middle school Spanish teacher for 2 years. In this time, Sophia was inspired by her determination, kindness to others, and passion for teaching. Sophia hopes to pursue a career in forensic pathology. Savannah Poirier. A teacher who has inspired Savannah is Miss Medeiros. Savannah has been inspired by her freshman English teacher because she was a role model and someone Savannah looks up to as such a positive person. Miss Medeiros is never seen without a smile on her face. She always has a positive attitude, and Savannah strives to be like her one day. Savannah has not yet decided what field she would like to pursue in the future. William Polito. A teacher who has inspired William is Mrs. Hanlon. Mrs. Hanlon inspired William to put forth his best effort with everything he faces in life. She taught him to be a genuine person to all and helped him shape into the person he is today. William would like to pursue a future in business law. Colin Cobb. Mrs. Patterson is the teacher who has inspired Colin and sparked his interest in chemistry. She has inspired him to want to continue studying chemistry and environmental chemistry in the future. Emma Rogers. Emma has been inspired most by Mr. Legg because he is a constant reminder to be kind to everyone. Mr. Legg has also inspired Emma to work hard and pursue things that bring her joy. Emma would like to pursue a career in the performing arts. Nora Rooney. Nora has most been inspired by Mr. Seedorf. He has made the biggest impact on Nora because of his passion for inspiring students beyond the world of math. He pushed her to work hard and helps make learning more fun for his students. Nora would like to pursue a career in psychology. Jennifer Ryan. Mrs. DePross is the teacher who has most inspired Jennifer. Mrs. DePross was always kind and positive. She encouraged Jennifer to always do her best by being in her class and gave her a love for STEM. Jennifer would like to become an occupational therapist. Madison Savicki. Madison has been inspired by Mrs. Smith to always try her best and to stay positive. She taught Madison to never give up. Madison would like to become a nurse in the future. Madison Skasha. The teacher that has inspired Madison is Mrs. Pisanti. She taught Madison to always remain positive and to never give up. She made Madison believe that she could accomplish anything she puts her mind to. Madison would like to pursue a career in nursing in the future.
Sydney Scott. A teacher who has inspired Sydney is Miss Flynn. Miss Flynn has made an impact on Sydney's life because she has helped her interest in science grow. Miss Flynn inspired Sydney's idea of pursuing a career in science and engineering. Sydney wants to pursue a career in engineering in the future. Alex Shea. A teacher who has inspired Alex is Mrs. Dempsey. Mrs. Dempsey taught Alex that you aren't always going to love everything about school, but there is always a way to find joy in everything you do. Alex wants to pursue a career in political science and attend law school. Christina Short. A teacher who has inspired Christina is Mrs. Smith. Since Mrs. Smith is always so positive, she inspires Christina to work hard and do well in school. Mrs. Smith is also very kind and helped Christina become interested in science. Christina wants to pursue a career in cardiology. Catherine Stetson. A teacher who has inspired Catherine is Miss Galambos. Miss Galambos provided inspirational guidance to all of her students, including Catherine. She taught Catherine the important lessons to continue to remain positive through the darkest days and rise above the challenges that come. Miss Galambos helped Catherine continue to be a hardworking student who strives to do her best. Catherine wants to pursue a career in nursing. Michaela Sturgeon. A teacher who has inspired Michaela is Miss McGrath. Miss McGrath has been an inspiring and motivating teacher throughout Michaela's middle and high school life. Miss McGrath's impact went beyond Michaela's final year of elementary school, since she was able to build an unforgettable connection with Michaela that went past the classroom. Michaela wants to pursue a career in early childhood education. Caitlin Sweeney. A teacher who has inspired Caitlin is Mrs. Smith. Mrs. Smith helped spark Caitlin's interest about the way the world is and what impact we have on it, allowing Caitlin to find a lifelong love for the field of science. Caitlin is interested in pursuing a career in environmental science. Gabriela Chorokova. A teacher who has inspired Gabriela is her 8th grade teacher, Miss Smith. Miss Smith taught Gabriela the importance of kindness and spreading positivity. Over the years, Miss Smith has inspired her to always be optimistic and to encourage others to be themselves. Gabriela is interested in becoming a physician's assistant or pursuing a career in business. Erin Tilley. A teacher who has inspired Erin is Miss Risco. Miss Risco has inspired Erin to be the best writer she could be. Miss Risco's support and feedback further grew Erin's love for writing. Erin wants to pursue a career in graphic design. Dominic Yuba. A teacher who has inspired Dominic is Mr. Merritt. Mr. Merritt was a huge inspiration and role model to Dominic. He helped Dominic find enjoyment in learning and taught him the importance of always finding learning opportunities in every situation. Mr. Merritt also helped Dominic step outside of his comfort zone and participate more in class. Dominic wants to pursue a career in computer science. Reed Watson. A teacher who has inspired Reed is Mr. Googans. Mr. Googans has inspired Reed because as his teacher and coach, Reed has learned the importance of having determination to do well in school. Mr. Googans is a teacher who has made learning interesting and makes every class enjoyable for his students. Reed wants to pursue a career in business. Anna Williams. A teacher who has inspired Anna is Miss Smith. Miss Smith inspired Anna's love for science because of her creative lessons she had throughout the year in her freshman biology class. Anna says Miss Smith is the reason for her love for science and interest in the medical field. Anna wants to become a trauma nurse. Kevin Willis. A teacher who has inspired Kevin is Mr. Googans. Mr. Googans has inspired Kevin because he has taught him many things in hockey as well as always pushing him to be the best person and student he can be. Mr. Googans has given Kevin motivation to continue to work hard in everything he does. Kevin is interested in forensics and wants to become an FBI agent. Erin Wood. A teacher who has inspired Erin is Miss Dempsey. Mrs. Dempsey has helped Erin in ways that go beyond simply becoming a better student. Mrs. Dempsey has taught Erin countless life lessons that will stay with her after high school. Erin wants to pursue a career in forensic science or psychology. Caesar Zarita. A teacher who has inspired Caesar is Mrs. Dempsey. Mrs. Dempsey has inspired Caesar because she has encouraged him to come out of his comfort zone and has helped him become the student he is today. She created a welcoming work environment that made it easier for Caesar to transition into high school. Caesar wants to pursue a career in physical therapy.
ask that the new inductees please rise and raise your right hand. I pledge to uphold the high purposes of the National Honor Society to which I have been selected. I will be true to the principles for which it stands. And will maintain and encourage high standards of leadership, scholarship, service, and character. Congratulations. I would like to invite our National Honor Society advisor, Ms. Tans, to the stage.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First, I'd like to thank you all for coming, and I would like to personally congratulate all of you on your achievement tonight. And you should all be very proud of yourselves and know that everybody here in the room too is also very proud of you as well. I would also like to congratulate all the friends and family that are here tonight because they wouldn't have been able to accomplish what they've accomplished without you, so you also deserve a round of applause. So this is my first year as a National Honor Society advisor, and I'm really excited to get to work with all 92 of you, get to know you a little bit better, and I think that together we can do many great things for the community and give back in many ways. I'd also like to thank the National Honor Society advisors for doing a great job with the induction tonight. Thank you, Dr. Jones and Ms. Medeiros. Also, thank you to Allison, Alex, and Jenna for their heartfelt speech about Ms. Medeiros. And also, thank you to everybody behind the scenes who helped this evening take place. So this will conclude our ceremony. Once all the students have exited the stage, I'd like to invite you all to the library for a reception. So thank you very much. Have a good evening. Thank you for coming.